Good evening, guys, and today I'm on Tank GG, and I wanted to show you something very interesting. Because let me check out this thing because I didn't saw this. Damn, they are putting lots of new Chinese tanks, but yeah, maybe they can put this. I don't know, but I wanted to show you probably, very probably, very like 90% or more the one of the main rewards of the Christmas boxes. That is this BZ-176. What is BZ-176? BZ-176, I didn't talk about a lot because and the other YouTubers talk about it. And maybe much better to respect me because I follow like the That's Game's video about the Chinese heavy tanks with derp guns. And this is the tier 8 premium tank that you see as these rockets, and this is the armor, but nothing, of course, nothing special behind. And this both tracks, it seems like a very heavy track things because like you have two tracks, not one. And this is the tier 8 premium tank of the Chinese derp heavy tanks. Here on the stats, what we can see from the stats, we can see from the stats the weapon array that you see very huge caliber, but huge caliber of the tank with 1100 damage per shot. Let me check my tank by stats. We can see for the damage per shot, we pick up tier 8 heavy tanks, or maybe probably tier 8s, not with AP, maybe with HE, because that tank doesn't have AP. This tank has artillery gun. Okay, this tank has an artillery gun, and pack a punch is damn, 1100 HP is very high. You can see even the Caliban is here, and and this is like the premium shell. But guys, 1100 for one shell, it's basically a Scorpion G. You can take out every single light tank in one shot. You can destroy the battles in one shot. And as I told you, this is the HE shell that has 75 millimeters of penetration. That isn't very bad. You can pick up the S shells that of course lowers a lot your DPM because your damage per shot is like 300 media less, so yeah, much better. But you gain this very nice amount of penetration that on tier 8, this amount of penetration is basically AP wise of some tanks. The problem of this tank, as you notice, this tank has only HE. So or you penetrate or you don't deal damage because this tank probably doesn't deal lots of damage when doesn't penetrate. And these are the shells. Reload time 24 seconds, as we see. Reload time. Let's pick up heavy tanks, of course. It probably is one of the last ones. Yeah, it isn't even shown here because how much time this tank takes to reload. Because this gun is very punchy. Rate of fire is very low. Dispersion values. Dispersion values, when the gun is damaged, it's literally impossible to hit anything because you have to add this to the dispersion. But talking about the dispersion, and each airships for some strange reason have like decent speed and free damage more to modules. HE are very slow, 360. So HE, as you see, are isn't like a good shell. You have to use it when you can like switch it around faster. But I was talking about the accuracy. The accuracy on this tank seems bad. Okay, seems bad because as you see, the accuracy isn't great. But when you count that this tank has 0.38 and other tags 100 millimeters, 105 millimeters, 90 millimeters, and the sometimes even have even a worse accuracy respect to this tank that has very high caliber. The accuracy for that caliber is very good because it's the same level as an T26E5 and Udiarne and 703, maybe Kravslavsky, Progetto T32, 50 TP. And this one is even worse accuracy. So if you count the accuracy of other tanks, for example, like the Bisonte has very worse accuracy respect to the BZ. So like accuracy isn't bad, but if you pump it up, let me just let you see. If you pump it up the accuracy and you don't care about anything about the of course the reload time, accuracy can be very interesting because it goes down to 0.32, and dispersion movement you can actually maybe switch it up to get to count the this one, or no, the reload, no, it's too important for this tank. You see the accuracy values on this tank is very good, like zero, you can reach up maybe 0.31 if you have, I think, even bond things, you can actually reach up a much better accuracy values. Let me just search them. No, where is the improved vent? Where is the improved vent? No improved vent? Okay. But you can reach 0.31. And guys, you have a fucking 160 millimeter gun. You have here it comes 0.40 this version. And that probably is true because that gun has like very big gun. But here 0.32, 0.34 still. This gun is very punchy, is very big caliber. So the accuracy of this tank isn't bad if you consider the caliber of the gun. Speed-wise, this tank isn't good, and I let you notice a first problem. Uh, you can improve the accuracy of this tank using maybe a stabilizer that I strongly recommend it, and because the aim time is good, not bad. Maybe if we pick up this, it goes to 0.31, I don't know. Or you can maybe swipe up this and pick a turbo, but I don't know. Maybe some people prefer the turbo, and it's totally understandable because you actually gain that 4 kilometer speed. But I'd stick with this one because it gives you like 0.03 dispersion, much better, and that's not a thing that to say is not important. But speed-wise isn't good. Is lower than average. But of course, because this tank has a nice amount of armor, and the first spotting is the 380, not the greatest, but not the worst. It's a Chinese tank, remember? And yeah, so 1600 HP, 1550, good. And armor value is another thing that this tank shines a lot because this tank has a nice amount of armor. Maybe let's pick up a classic gun, okay? Not too much p, not too much not too p, and but not like stupidly bad. I can pick up, for example, the Yogan. Yogan isn't like super high penetration value. Maybe gold shell aren't that high, but the Yogan is pretty average. This one is 250, and this one is 140. So you can actually penetrate with his uh, hash rounds. But look the thing here. The thing here is this plate is like 228. So if we for example grab the buffer star one, only because of the angle, because the angle is 60 yeah, it's 66, 67, and you can go even to 70. So here, every AP shells won't penetrate because like it's out of bounds, you know. You cannot penetrate this. If even if you have like 400 millimeter, let me just let me just pick up this one. Even the Yagero will bounce you here because it's over angle, and the Yagero can bend to 50 millimeters, but the upper plate is so well angled, like for example, I want the upper plate is so angled here that if you side up, if you make side, it's probably better to aim to the lower part of the tank respect here, and maybe try here. But armor wise, this tank isn't bad. Okay, is kinda good considering that it's a T-rate and some tank destroyers from tier 10 cannot penetrate you because you are just simply too well angled. So this is the tank against the APCR. This tank is against the APCR. This tank doesn't shine, and even against higher tanks doesn't shine at all because higher tanks, eh, or even if you're lower on the reach line, you will be easy perma penetrated from here very easily, even from APE, no problems at all. Maybe not HE from the Caliban, but as Caliban can literally easy penetrate you very quickly and even overmatch you from here, may probably, yeah, because you will need 120 more. But like, yeah, you can very easily get penetrated if a tank is a little bit higher. And I guess it shells not great. Because each shell's guys penetrates have a lower chance to ricochet from angles. So yeah, if you actually manage to make side scraping, but even doing side scraping, I'm gonna show you a visual. You have to hide this corner because this corner can be penetrated. So you have to like type of this side scraping. You have to hide this corner and not people let you shoot here from the probably this part of the tank, the end. Just remember this part and the end of it. Yeah, for the end of it. So you have to do this, I scrap like that, and turn the turret to the enemy. This probably probably with a better angle because you can't hit anything like this. But even if you angle a lot, that isn't the problem because the as you will see, this side armor of this tank is very good indeed. Look, this isn't a problem. Maybe someone can loot the gold and try, but with each shells, it won't go through because this tank has like a very, very, very good side armor, and we will analyze it. Uh, 100 millimeter right here, very good. 120 if you consider the track, and 152 here. This is IS-7 level angle. Look how thick you can angle it. How you can angle it. It's basically this tank is giving me the side, and I still can't penetrate him there. This is absurd, guys. So if tank uses gun depression, you can do this, and it's very hard. Even with premium shells, that the shell can go through the air. But this is probably much better if you're like using it in normal range line. You saw weak point of the tank, and that's good, not bad. The rear, the rear isn't bad at all. It is 60 millimeters of armor, and the turret is like 60 millimeters of armor. So, guys, weak points. Um, Weak points, as you notice, yeah, it has 11 degree of gun depression. So when this tank goes in a race run, it's super hard. Let me pick up even a tier 9. It's very hard. You cannot penetrate this unless you have a freaking Yagero spam the it shells to its turret. And yeah, you can penetrate with the Yagero. It's not the Minotauro, but you need really, really a lot of penetration to penetrate through there because that this part of armor is very, very hard indeed. So you need really, really lots of armor, lots of penetration to penetrate there. But you don't need it if the tank is pointing at you, because the tank of course has to higher up, because the biggest weak point of this tank is this part here. It is 40 millimeters. So if you're like unluckily, but right now it's very normal, at tier 6 you cannot penetrate this. It's impossible that you can even scratch the armor of this tank. It's impossible. Okay, you cannot. Maybe with some NPCR, but here you cannot. Basically, you can try there, but it's impossible. It's very hard that you can penetrate this. I wanna see. I wanna let you see even a funny thing. This tank penetrates 145. You you can barely pen its side armor. You can barely pen its side armor. But for example, this tank has 188. Straight through here, you can penetrate, even with the APCRs. That it's a bit harder, but no one cares. Okay, no one cares. You can try this, but no, you can penetrate it. Even if it's higher up, you can actually shoot even here. Maybe with an HE, no, with a chain, of course not. But you can shoot there. You can even shoot there. That is a very, very, very big weak point of the tank that you need to use it to your advantage, because this tank hires up, points the gun at you, you can shoot there, and you will penetrate it. Probably Wargaming will change this, because it's very, very bad weak point, to be honest. And you can penetrate there. You can try a little bit of luck here, but I don't know, because last time when I did like the Italian tank destroyers, this thing was kind of bugged. So I'm just taking it what it is, and this is the worst weak point that this tank has. At this if it's like this, it's the only thing that you can shoot at. All the other is red. If it's not in a hold down position, things changes very dramatically for this tank. For example, you see the Ferdinand that can easily penetrate this tank. It's green, okay? It's green. Maybe not the turret, but it's absolutely zero armor for a Ferdinand to penetrate this tank. Zero effort. Even here, you can penetrate with a 120 more. So if you grab a like 120 millimeter, you cannot penetrate it very easily. It's like the Viper, no? you you cannot. You can penetrate here, you can penetrate here. That okay, that's good, that's fine, we like it. But you can penetrate up there. But if you higher up a little bit the caliber, the armor changes completely, and it really, really kind of falls apart. For example, 105 you cannot. With a 128 you can. It's paper. All this huge part of the tank is on. All this huge part is paper. You penetrate it. All of the upper part. All of the upper part of the turret. If a tank is facing you, shoot here or shoot to, you shoot even down here. It's not like big of the deal to. It's very good. It's very good weak point if you have it against, and it's a very bad weak point if you're using it. And so, guys, this probably will be like the new Chinese premium tank. Why I'm saying this? I'm saying this because they are putting the new Chinese heavy tanks with derp guns that, in my opinion, they aren't broken, because there are lots of tanks that you cannot penetrate in the turret and have much better guns, much better accuracy, much better DPM. They are faster. And these tanks won't be overpowered. But I have to say this tank will be very annoying, because you can shoot an HE with a 0.32 accuracy and deal that 100, 200, or you can actually deal 1000 damage. And if you shoot like the ash shells, you can do like 800 if you hit a weak point of the other tanks. So this tank punches a lot. But the thing is that they are slow, and they have armor, yes, but nowadays armor is like kinda irrelevant. What I mean with this, uh, there are lots of other tanks that has armor and gun, and they still have the gun. But this gun is kind of strange. It's not like the normal gun that you have on the tank. It's more like try luck. If you're lucky, you hit it. If you're not, you don't hit it. So this is the problem with this tank. Uh, of course, of course, it will be fun tank. I hope they will release it only for meme thing, and they will never take seriously. I think to put AP on this tank, maybe 240 penetration AP could be a good. But this tank, it's kind of meme. Even the TO10, it's a meme. It's not like a serious tank to play, and if you're like, it's not a serious tank. It's a very fun tank. Yeah, you can shoot out like light tanks with one shot, but apart of that, that's it. This tank cannot do anything else apart of like shooting lightly armored tanks. That's it. Because they nerfed the chi, so even you even see 183 is doing zero damage with no reasons. Imagine this one. Even the Caliban can do like zero damage, and there's like a similar caliber, and with much better HE pan, and still zero damage. So, and like spending 140 euros for this tank, it isn't good. Like no good. No human being will do this, like spending all this money for like this tank. Of course, if someone is a collector, they will resell it later, of course, as they always do. Sorry, but no point to rush to grab this tank. They are memes. Good armored. They have the rocket system that maybe I will explain to you late when I have the data, but nothing else. Yeah, if you want an armored tank, you can go to the Super Conqueror. Maybe it doesn't have the same hull armor, but still has a much better gun, much more accurate, more DPM. It has the good turret, 10 degree of gun depression. Or maybe you can actually get the BZ-176, or you can get the Chinese heavy tank that's kind of good. But there are lots of tanks that can do this tank job without having to worry about I'm going to do zero only because I have an E100 in front of me, and with my Ashas I cannot penetrate any 100. And even T-rate, there are sharks, there are Skodas, so this tank won't be broken. Trust me, this tank won't be broken. So, guys, if you like the video, put a like. If you don't, put a dislike. I will see you in next video. Bye bye, guys.